So I promised people that I would tell the story of exactly how I almost killed my friend with a prank, as well as ruin his relationship. Where do I start? Okay, this was in college. My friend and I were starting a weekend class where we would teach kids about video game design. He also wanted to tag along with the whole thing, but when it came time to do like the full formal sign up and do all the paperwork and everything like that, was a meeting with the people who ran the program. And my friend had a date. He already had plans to take this girl that he liked out to the mountains to see the aspen trees and how pretty they got in the fall. Just fine. You know, it's perfectly not my idea of an ideal date, but, you know, apparently it works. He told me that I should just handle everything. Just go and get it all done, get it figured out, get anything signed over. He'll handle anything that follows up, like if there needs to be before the whole thing follows up. He went up and did that, and I went to the meeting like we were supposed to meet up for and everything like that. And another one of my friends was there with me. She was also the one who first clued us in on this whole program, and it seemed like a sweet deal because it was like an extra like $50 a week or something like that. And hey, I could use the money. I'm a college student. I could always use the money. We went to the meeting. Everything went fine. I got everything handed over, turned over, and set up, and everything like that. Went through getting all the paperwork filled out for the program, and with that done, we got something to eat. We went to the student union. I ordered my chicken strips with barbecue sauce, like I always did. And while we're sitting there waiting for our food to come up, my friend leans over and goes, "Wouldn't it be funny if our mutual friend, B, thought that we couldn't get him into the program because he wasn't there?" And I looked over at her and I said, "That is hilarious. One moment, please." I flipped out my phone and I sent him a text. I said, "B, because you preferred to get your bleep wet, for lack of a better term, we didn't get the job, and I'm not going to be able to pay rent." And then we got our food, and we moved on with things. What I didn't know was after receiving this message, he freaked out. He thought he had royally screwed me. He abruptly ended the date, took the girl, they both drove back to school as fast as they could, recklessly so, only stopped by him having to ultimately tailgate a much slower driver in front of him and tempted to swerve around to dodge oncoming traffic to get around this guy. So what we ended up doing, I'm over at our other friend, our mutual friend's house, or dorm, and B shows up. Apparently he has already gone and written emails to all of the instructors that ran the program and like apologizing and begging for another chance and all this other stuff. And then he comes to see me. And our friend, she opens the door, looks at him, and goes, "I'm going to be in the other room. I don't want to get in between this." And she steps into another room. I'm sitting there, fists clenched, head down. I look angry as can be. What is actually happening is I am trying my hardest not to bust out laughing. He walks in and goes, "Hey man, I am so sorry. I don't know. It'll never happen. I'm so sorry." And then at that point, I looked directly at his face, and I start cracking up. And he just sits there and goes, "Oh, and he's a total sweetheart about it. He's the best sport in the world about it. Just he laughs his head off. He thinks it's now that he's like, now that he knows what it is, he thinks it's the hilarious thing in the world because he can take a joke. As he told me later on about all the other stuff that's like, well, I'm glad you didn't like actually get into a car accident because it sounded like you almost did. I was, yeah, I almost did.